Hey everybody, welcome back to your daily dose of Northern Lion Plays Chess. You know, right now, looking pretty good, 1555. Haven't played my best games lately. What? I've never seen this response before. Symmetrical. English opening symmetrical. What the heck? Is this allowed? What happens if you do that? Am I in some sort of strange trap? I don't believe so. Am I don't know. I have a C pawn, they have a D pawn. I think it was pretty even, I think. It seems pretty even to me at least. What would I do if I were the black pieces here? I don't know. I feel like maybe I would go E4 or maybe well, I don't really like D4 actually. You could always do knight to F6. Certainly you don't take. That's like a given. I think we take. They're forced to take with their C pawn. Yeah, or their B pawn, I should say. And then we're probably going to go... Don't really want to do E4. I want to get my bishop out in castle as soon as possible. So honestly, I think the way we do that is via G6. So I think they're setting something up here. You got to be pretty clever to see it. I think they're now going for this check, and then they want to take this pawn. So I'm going to give them the opportunity, if they want. I'm going to block the check so that they don't get access to the free pawn and the free rook afterwards. I'm going to block this check, which is probably why they're taking so long to think about this move. If they want to destroy my pawn structure, then by all means, we can clear this move. If they want to destroy my pawn structure, then by all means, I like the opportunity, even though this is horrible. That right there, like the pawns being doubled up. I don't like that very much at all. But I would welcome the opportunity to take control of this open diagonal from here to here. Anyway, it's a weird game for sure. Equal in material. They can castle first. We're not really presenting any threat. That's for certain. Feel like we're at a little bit of a time crunch, perhaps, for white here, or sorry, for black. So yeah, I had a feeling like something like this would be coming to pass. I feel like I wonder if they're going to try to reinforce along this file. You know what I think they're going to try to do, actually? I think they're going to push bishop to a6 to put a threat on this. I do this, and then there's too much pressure on this. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to actually... I kind of like this position. I get a discovered attack on the queen. I see what you're doing here. Do I think it's bad? I actually think no. So they get access to this. I don't love it. Or they get access to this. There's not too many ways for us to find our way out of there. We could trade queens. As one is wont to do. You know what we can do, though? In my heart of hearts, I'm like, what if we did this? You take this? Okay. We put you in check. You move. We take. What happens following this, though? They probably... move this? Would we? No, there wouldn't be a discovered attack. I kind of like it. I don't know. This might be like straight up garbage. I want to see how they deal with this. They seem like the thinking type. Wait a minute. I was like, I'm dumb. They can just take my knight. No, I forgot. They can't just take my knight. So what's the threat here? Queen's under attack by the bishop. Queen's under attack by the knight as well. So they pretty much have to move the queen. The expectation would be moving the queen to a place that would defend this square. So here, no, can't go there. Can't go here because of the bishop. Can't go here. So really, if they want to defend this square while moving the queen, all they can really do is that. And we would not take them up on it. What would we do? We would move the knight back to this position. It's where we wanted it in the first place. Yeah, okay. So it's called science. I didn't even think about the next move. I'm like, okay. I see that, like, they want to push this attack for sure. But we're just going to take control of this open file. And now we have no threat on... this is not good for us. Like, we are still down a pawn. Obviously, there's, like, more threat on this now. If we move this... If we move this knight, we're going to face some problems. Okay, so what if we did rook to here? Can't go there. Probably you don't want to go here. You'd go here instead. Let's give it a try. I don't mind this. I don't think we're like down by as much as it might look like. And again, if they go here, we kind of get the same play from earlier, here or here, where we can threaten the fork on the king. I didn't anticipate this. That's for certain. You'd think what they're trying to do here is like... They're still... I see what they're trying to do. We can't really threaten this. Let's put it that way. If they want to trade, because they want to stop me from castling. It's a good move. Certainly an interesting move. What if we just threaten the... What if we just threaten the queen again? Were I them, where would I go? Probably to a position that forces me to defend either this pawn or the knight or both. You know what? I think we do this first so we can castle. And if they want to make the trade, I accept the trade, but we don't accept it with the bishop. We accept it with the rook. That way, we're not trading queens and screwing up our own ability to castle. Now, were I them, I'm like, this feels like a strong book move. Or I guess it's not book at this point, but you know what I mean. Feels like a strong move. So obviously there's pressure here. Like, what if you did this? If they take, you take. Threatens the queen. Threatens the fork. Pop back here, defend the pawn. Or just move the pawn up after we get out. And then, you know. Were I them, I feel like I'd be mad. Because now where does the queen go? Here? I don't think it's that good. We actually get the chance to maybe move our bishop out to get another attack, which necessitates either that or that. Let me rephrase. Necessitates either that or that. It's a thinking game right now. If they move here, you know, obviously that's over. If they move here, I'd have to think through like the possibility of them coming down here, but it doesn't seem so bad. It's certainly like, I think we're doing a really good job of executing something that was covered in our lesson, which is, oh, actually, no, you can't even do queen here, because then I just go, no, I can't do that. We don't have two checks. I thought I could just do that. We can get a discovered attack on something, though. It has to be in a position where the queen can't just get out of it, though. Anyway, we're doing a good job, I think, of like, hey, they make a threat. You could defend the threat. You could reinforce. Or, alternatively, you could just... okay, that was the other possibility. And they can't capture because we got the rook pinched here. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying. You think they'll do that? So now I feel like I got good moves here. No, I don't have good moves. If they want to take, I think we let them take. Alternatively, like, do I mind this? And then what if we did that? It's not as good as it looks, is my personal take right now. What if we did this? Interesting. I think I like it. But anyway, I haven't finished my train of thought. Either way, what I was going to say is I think we've done a very good job of, during the lesson with Levy, we were talking about, instead of defending a threat, what if you could accelerate the danger that they're facing? And that's kind of what we're trying to do right now. And I think to a large extent it's working. So to be honest, now I kind of like, well, no, I don't like this. I think first, because he's probably going to castle, which is fine. I think first we like this. The problem right now is that, predominantly we just don't have that much time. Do I want to trade queens? His queen is in what I would describe as a better position. And it would actually give us an extra threat on this. So I think if he wants to trade, let's trade. This is mostly to also put pressure on this, but we also put pressure on this. He can't move the knight, or else we'll move down there and take. I guess he could go here. We'd have to think of a way to respond. This feels like an important move, for sure. I love our diagonal control right now. I almost feel like we do better by pushing than we do by capturing. If I push, he takes, I take, we still maintain control of the file. I don't know. Maybe we're getting to the point where times are a little tough. Basically, he's probably going to want to try to defend this diagonal a little bit. It's not necessarily bad for the record. He can go here. But we do have like a pawn that's kind of escaped. We also have two pawns on his level that could kind of escape, for the record. Okay, I mean, it is a fork, but it's a fork where we can, we can just take the trade if we wanted to. We don't want to give up on this file. So we want to think about like here, for example. If I were to go here, I'm not in an immediately forkable position. I definitely don't want to go here. We're going to have to take with the pawn. I think I accept that. And if he doesn't want to take, we push to e4. Or maybe we like fall back to here and push to e4. Well, I mean, thankfully we don't have to do that now. We'll just go here, force his move. And then the flip side of this is I'm like, to be honest, I'm like, if he moves back here, I kind of like that to reinforce our bishop because the bishop is so strong here. And then depending on where he went from there, like if he went back here, I might just take. I might be like, you know what? That seems like a good price to pay for me. Then we would double our rooks. I think we double our rooks first because I like that he's kind of stuck here for now. We double our rooks first, and we're going to try to trade here so that we can get this pawn down to the end. So we expected for sure that something like this was coming. So here's an interesting one for you. What if we trapped him? What's the plan there? Well, first he would have to do nothing. He can't trade me here, by the way. We have too much support with the bishop. What if we did this? He takes. Wow, what a blunder. Sure hope somebody got fired for that one. We do this. Okay, that obviously is not likely to work out now. What if we did this? This feels like this is the gut punch to me. What's the idea? He has to swap. He has to swap, because walk it through. He could do this. That's checkmate. I know it doesn't look like it, but it's checkmate. He takes, I take. That's check. He takes, I take. He can't move this. Again, it's I don't know. Maybe I'm getting overly optimistic. This feels like a high pressure move to me. This feels like a move I can be proud of, and becomes a real problem for the opponent. Not that he can't get to a position to solve it, but it's going to be hard. Let's see. Either way, this has been a very well-played game. I don't know what the plan is here. Maybe it's good. Maybe he did it good. Certainly, he takes. If I go down here, he's going to take... I think we're in, like, take situation. Ah, this reinforces the rook. Yes. Okay. So now we're in its time. So, like, basically he could take and then he could get it back. Let's put it that way. Things are going to start to move faster now. We can't defend here. I'm just realizing because of this open diagonal. So what do? I don't think we close the diagonal. I think instead we actually want him to capture, believe it or not. I was trying to get a pin here. I don't think we're going to get the pin that I wanted. Yeah, because he's figured it out, basically. He's better than I gave him credit for. You know what? We're going to get spicy. Let's have... This is a blunder. I want to be very clear. But it's a blunder on purpose. What's the plan? You take. I take. And all of a sudden, we actually have that promotion-threatening pawn in a position where they're under defense again. And the rook's under attack, but that may or may not matter to you. That's probably a bad move. Time's getting a little tight, let's be honest. I mean, if you wanted to take, why wouldn't you just take earlier, I guess, is my thinking, but... Okay, I see the plan, and it's good for him. So he's going to get the pawn. It's now a game of time. And we are down a piece. And we did do it to ourselves, trying to do some sick gambits. We could play out the draw, though, in all likelihood. This is actually like just a really strong move. They take with the bishop. They got good pawn support as well. What? I must be stupid. I can't believe that giving the bishop up was the right move. So this is dumb, obviously, because we're down a pawn. The question is more at this point. Do you see a situation where they win in the next 25 seconds? And the answer is a hearty maybe. I think the game plan is they actually have to push this pawn. Don't see it. Don't see it. Don't see it. Let's go! Okay. Multiple times throughout there, I think we lost. Multiple times throughout there, I actually think we won. But I'll take my draw. Okay, that was a tight one. That was a tight one. I'm pretty proud of that one. Just because we made a lot of blunders doesn't mean we didn't also perform well to some extent. Oh, okay. So like it happens pretty soon. Pretty even match. A wild game that settled peacefully. We were up by as much as a maybe like a rook at some point. So let's walk this through. That was a fun one. There's good analysis to glean there. Standard, pretty standard, really. They don't like the take, huh? They prefer e4. Okay. The reason I didn't like e4 is because it's kind of a hard pawn to reinforce, but I guess not. You would just do knight to c6 and not be a baby about it. They like 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 it. Very questionable. This is where we are up. So there must be some kind of line. Pardon me. There must be some kind of line that forces this. I wonder if it's that. I was thinking about that in the moment. No, they hate it. They like this. Okay. They do like this. Instead, I did that, which is a missed win. We should have thought about this as a way to block them in. Okay. What happens if we do this? So they're under attack here. They're not going to take. They actually, now that I look at it, they have like so few options. I guess they go here. No. They like the pawn cat. Yeah, that's better. That makes sense. We go there. They have no choice but to go maybe here. They don't like it. They like f8 instead. Okay, I take this. You take this. Probably the next move is something like that. And then I would have to think you would just go back. No, they like e5. It's not a big deal, I think. Oh, no, it's a huge deal. Because you need to be able to cover this spot. Okay, so this game could have looked much different. Anyway, so instead of doing that, we did this. Best move. We move back. They like it, but they do. There are alternatives, but they like it. That's the best move. Ooh, highly questionable. You know why? Now I'm realizing they could have very easily just... No, that makes no sense. B1 is a blunder. Knight takes... Queen takes c3. We take... That's the only way we get out of that. And all of a sudden, you know, you definitely are looking at it from a position where black has an advantage. So that was actually a pretty big blunder. We could have seen that in the game, actually. We could have seen that. That's a missed win. Fair enough. So we're at 1 each. Good move. Best move. Best move. Pretty close game. We're down materially by a pawn, but the game thinks, like... You know, after this, it actually thinks we're up. They love that move again. They like the take. They actually think we're up now. Questionable move. Okay, this is where the game got very interesting, too. They like the knight development, and I agree. Why do they like the capture? Let's play it out. So if we take... I guess... So I didn't walk it through far enough. If we take... They're probably going to take, but I actually don't think it's the best move. Yeah. Why is it not the best move? Because then we do this. I thought. Then you do that, and then I do this. It leaves us up by quite a lot. But anyway. So it could have been that. That. Then I would imagine, no, they hit. It's a blunder. Oh, because my bishop would just take it. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. All right. But that's not what happened. All right. So instead, we reinforced it. Still a close game. Good move. Good move. Good move. Okay, so I'm up by 2 pawns, but down by a pawn materially. Best move. Okay. We forced them a little. They like the trade. I like the trade too. That was a situation where trading was positive, I think. Then didn't we try to push here? Nah, they don't like that move. They say that move gave up a lot. Really? They like this. You would expect that. Not even close because the bishop would take it. They would expect that. Okay. And then, I don't even know what we would do after that. If in my heart of hearts, I bet it would be something like this. That's usually how it goes, to put some pressure on these. All right. Okay, so that, that maybe would have been better. Slash definitely would have been better, because that's not what happened. We pushed. They took. We took. Now they're up by a pawn, which is what's the reality of the situation. Should have taken. Right off the bat, they're like, you should have taken this one. And you know what's interesting is that I was like, I don't want to trade a bishop for a knight. And our bishops had such good diagonal control of the board for like a lot of the game. But now it makes sense because you see a situation where like if you do this, the pawn doubling here actually is safer in the endgame for us, which is kind of where we're headed even though we didn't know it yet. You know, anytime, like, the pawns going wide is usually what leads to them getting promoted. So the more you can stack them up on the same vertical, the easier it is to defend against multiple threats simultaneously. So I wonder if that's not part of it. Now, this is one where they're like, what? And that was an excellent move. Still not considered the best because of the knight, but they love that move. They like that move. What are you doing? You should start threatening the promotion. Okay. What are you doing? Now they actually like the pawn push, which also shuts down the bishop, I'll admit. I guess they would have, let me guarantee, they would have loved this. I bet, where does it leave us? Actually, it almost takes away the entire, pardon me, pawn advantage that that they had. So I think they would have loved that, but that's not how it went down. Instead, we stacked up. But it keeps us in an even game, they say. They like bishop to there. You know what? That is a good move. Forces them to here probably, at which point we just do that anyway. And it's a little stronger for us. Anyway, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. They want this bishop out of here so that there's no risk of the back rank mate. They love this. That was kind of a stroke of genius in my opinion. They like that we didn't go through with it, which I appreciate. And then this is like, it at this point, essentially, was where the draw started playing out. That was where I gave up a piece to take some of their pawns. But, I mean, they did have like an 8-point advantage. And then, you know, it came back to roughly even. This is probably like a loss, I guess. But honestly, I feel like my opponent didn't really know how to play the endgame. We got lucky to escape with the draw. I'll take it. No disrespect. Okay. We will not be playing the Dutch today. We moved up 1 point. That's something. How do you want to play this? How do you want to play this, Joel Beck? I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you beat me? They're like a c4 push. I'm a little wary about something like that, but maybe on the other hand, I'm like not. What about this? I don't mind if you push past. Obviously, I don't want to take. It helps them develop the bishop to c4 a little too easily. So we'll just develop almost as if we were expecting like a more traditional sort of opening. It's a pretty... I am actually... I'm afraid of our opponent right here. Don't really want to push to... I want to put our bishop somewhere useful. That's not that good. I feel like I'm better, but I don't really want here because then if they push, I think I just like here. It's not amazing, but I think I'm okay with it. Although it would have been nice to be able to push e4 in the future for sure. Okay, so I guess one thing I would say is what do I like about the game right now? Like, do I like where I'm at? I'd probably prefer White's position a little bit. This is the Caro-Kann Panov attack, in case you're not familiar. I feel like I don't mind if you take. We still have enough protection here, so I'm going to castle first and ask questions later. So I don't think they will queenside castle. Moreover, if they queenside castle, I don't think they should. We've been through this before. I kind of just hate this move. Like, I see what it... Like, don't get me wrong. I get it. I'm just also, like, I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's worth it for the open file. Don't do that. Oh, no, I see what he's... Actually, never mind. This is a... I think he trapped me. I think this guy trapped me. Because if... Watch, okay? I move, like... here, for example, we just lose the piece. The real play for us, actually... I think as we move here to block this little setup right here, and it doesn't even block it, it just kind of temporarily causes a problem. So he'll take, I take, he takes. Then we close this up and start the pressure d4. Basically, we didn't want him to do this because if he does that, I go here, he gets a discovered attack wherever he wants. So we probably want to do something, well, really, doing something like this is going to give us a space to escape so we don't get caught in the discovered. Oh, okay, never mind. He just, like I'm not a... Okay, now he has the mate threaten, but it's kind of like, I don't know, disrespectful? I guess what if he does that, though? Do I have any escape? Maybe not. Yeah, I think I made it, actually. Because, like, if he does this, I think I just literally have no defense. So we're going to try to get ourselves out of this bucket of syrup right here. So it looks like this. I can't believe we're not dead. We really, at this point, want to trade queens. Like, even, I really don't think I have any defense here. You'd think, like, oh, bishop here, because then it blocks, like, these squares. But, A, he could take. But then, you know, queen would recapture, and we'd cover these squares. But he could just do, like, queen to there instead. I mean, if we're going to get funky, like, let's get frickin' funky, dude. Let's get freaky now. Let's get frickin' freaky now. I actually don't mind moving these pawns. Like, it creates more space for our king to not get surprise mated. I really think, unless I'm missing something, our opponent just threw away, like, a surprise mating trap. Which is a phrase, trust me, I don't like to say. I would still, even though we're 2 pawns up right now, I'm going to tell you this sincerely, I would prefer to be my opponent. So this move is more like so I can capture... It doesn't really help, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know what the purpose of this move is. Just being honest. Our king is in dire straits. Not the band. Though, that would be kind of cool. I mean, sometimes people are like, oh, look at this incredible skewer. Yeah, and it only takes... a million moves to set up. Assuming your opponent does nothing, that could be very powerful. Here's what I do love, though. They're all in the same color square. They're all within 1 L of one another, currently defended by this knight. So there's a real fork opportunity, but we need to figure out how that's going to manifest. This, to me, and I could be wrong, but it kind of reeks of a move that is just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to... It's very dangerous because this knight is, like, pretty much hanging. But I think I'm going to try to put some extra sauce on this piece. I'm going to tell you, like, sincerely, I do mind. I think we have to keep this closed up. Otherwise, the rooks become so powerful here. I hate this, but I also love this. On the other hand, I'm like, wait a minute, if I do this, where are you going to go? Like, because your knight has to go somewhere. You know what? What can I say? I'm a bad man. Oh, you're going to just capture this. I'm a bad man, though. Okay, we can't do this because we'd be in check. I would love to. You know what I kind of like? Because we're up by so much material. What if we did that? I'm not even thinking about it. That's how sure I am that this is a great move. I'm not even going to question it. You gotta. And then, to be honest, I think things get a little spicy. But I think we benefit. I think. And we got a real back rank mate potential. Like, if he can't do anything with his rooks. Okay, so now he's like, the back rank mate. We want to start decimating his pawn structure. We also, you know what? We're going to start here so we can easily reinforce this bishop. And if he wants to take this pawn, by all means. This is a kind of game where I'm like, not that concerned about it. This is a game that looks like it's being played between two middle schoolers. And lest you think that that's an insult to Joel, keep in mind, I'm also one of the middle schoolers in this situation. And then moving forward, I'm like, Homer. I think you have to take. That's like your first given. I think you go here. We're going to really try to push to be here long term. We need to stop the pawn, obviously. There's a couple of good, there's some good lines. Like, I really actually like check and then here, and that covers this spot on the way. If you want to get technical, I was just going to say, if he goes there, you can do this, but then he does that, and then what do you do? It's a good question. We do have threat on that, though. So I think for now, we really like this. We also have this promotion threatened that I have not looked at all. But I feel like our position is good, even though like the run is just so cursed as to be like nobody knows what's happening. Okay, so we like this. He may still push. That's fine. We do this. He does this. We take. He takes. We take. We don't mind. Again, we're up by a piece. A pawn and a bishop right now. Our pawns are screwed, for the record. The real danger is if he starts to do something like this to reinforce this. Like, I don't doubt that he could get this pawn to the end. But keep in mind, even if, like... sorry, you won't go there. Why would you go there? I'll just take you. Never mind. Sometimes you gotta think things through before you speak. All right, so he's trying to... to me, that looks like an angle for a stalemate. So I think we threaten with this. And we have a great position. Okay, yeah. So here's the thing that I was thinking of. What if... What if we did this? No, it's very bad. Maybe it's not very bad. Maybe it's actually okay. Like, okay, so he takes. He gets a rook. I get a rook. We're closer to the end of the game. Maybe that's not good enough, though. So he obviously, like, I see the... Well, there might be a better line is the scary thing. Like, if we did this, let's say he did that. We do this, promote to a queen. He's going to take. Then we're going to take. Maybe I'm in... Wait a minute. Am I stupid? I'm just stupid. After all of that. After all of that. By the way, this is a really bad situation for him. Obviously, yes, okay. But like, this is a really strong position. Okay, so we pulled that. We did a 1.5 out of 2 in this video. I played like garbage, but I'm still like, I'm happy with it, but we got to start looking for hanging pieces way more frequently. They do not like how either of us played this. They actually think I was way worse off. I was made in 2. Well, that's because, yes, they did throw away a win, I think. Let's see if my analysis is correct. So everything's like pretty standard. They're like, what? C2 is a mistake. They like our position. I do this. They still like our position, but they prefer the capture. I actually thought of that because it forces like the... It makes their queenside worse in case they choose to queenside castle, which they did. It forces this bishop to move again, which feels like a loss of tempo. I don't think it's necessarily like an incredible move, but maybe it opens up further stuff for us. So we did this instead. They hate that. They're not a big fan. That's a missed win, though. Capturing this is a missed win. They prefer this. Okay. Then what happens? They probably don't. They like it more than that? No, it's a huge blunder. Is that because it enables the mate in 2, I guess? I mean, at this, if that's not what they like, then they probably like this. Knight takes d4. They like that? I gotta admit, I love my position here. This is under attack. I don't know, maybe you fall back here? Is it really this that threatens mate? No, g4 is a huge blunder. Bishop takes e7. I guess it doesn't threaten mate so much, but oh, because the queen is covering it, fool. Okay. They love our position, though. You can't deny that. I'm like, at one of these points, this is the right move. They like rook to d8. Oh, okay, okay. Anyway, that's not the way it went down. Instead, it got very scary. I took, they took, and then I'm like, oh no. That was a questionable move. What do they prefer instead? Rook to e8. That way, we have a way out of this. Okay. At which point you might expect this to come out. They do like it. And then I would go here, and then they would go here, presumably. Computer's a little confused. Has never seen this line before. Me neither. It's a bit of a strange one. Okay, so this would be a different position. We are down, and I would say that's fair. But again, that's not the way it went down. Instead, I'm pretty sure I made it worse. So we did this. They took. I took. They took. They hate our position. Because I think, like, next move, if they do this, I'm in a horrible spot. So what did I do instead? I feel like I did this. No, that would be horrible. That would be truly horrendous. Did I do that? There's no way that's what I did, right? Oh, God. So this is a loss. Because I think they just do this. As we pointed out. And there's no way we can stop it. Like, literally nothing. They like this move, but there's no way you can stop it anyway. Because they just go here and it's over. Okay, so that move basically could have cost us the game, but it didn't. Instead, let me walk it back. We do that. And then we actually have an escape route. Okay, they still probably do this to threaten mate, because it's a lot of pressure. We let them, for the record. I almost wonder if we don't do something like this next. Like escalate danger elsewhere. Nope. Bishop d6. All right. Anyway, not the way it went down, thankfully for my sake. They castle, which is a missed win. They love this. This is where I really felt like we started to bring it back. And then it's like, yes, why didn't you just use the knight to capture? This is where it got very messy. They don't like that very much. This gave them a way back. They hate a lot of these moves. There's no doubt about that. Very questionable move, this fork. They love that. We're up by 6 right now. And they love that. And they love that. Okay. And then this is like... I don't want to say it was over at this point, but it was pretty close. This pawn was not making it to the end. We started to push. They resigned. Okay. Well, it was a weird one, but for now, thanks for watching. I'm happy we went 1.5 out of 2. If you enjoyed it, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. As far as I'm concerned, we turned an 0.2 into a 1.5. I'll take it. See you next time.